Have you been feeling the energy from this Scorpio full moon? Because I don't know about anyone else, but my word, it has been intense. um, and it's actually been a beautiful opportunity to process some very deeply hidden emotions that have been obviously there. And I always trust in timing, but it's been so useful to have them come up to the surface and let me deal with them, which I've definitely needed to do. And the funny thing about emotion is it's something that I always felt I had to bottle up, and I was kind of perhaps not taught, but maybe made to feel or believe that being emotional is a bad thing. And there can be all sorts of negative connotations that go with that, especially an emotional woman. We will not go down that route, but I find it very interesting as to why that is. Why are we encouraged to suppress our emotions and not be emotional if we need to actually process something or honour our emotions? We're kind of taught from a young age, aren't we, to put on a brave face, pretend that everything's okay, smile, keep calm and carry on, and which I find it so unhealthy, extremely unhealthy. And the sad thing is that I realise more and more I can't go to a lot of people when I am struggling, when I'm feeling emotional, when I need to have a good cry, or I just need to have a hug or have somebody just hold space for me and let me process, let me be a mess, let me be a complete mess if I need to be. Because in my personal experience, trying to suppress emotion, and especially things like grief, trying to keep it all in or bottle it up or pretend that you're okay when actually you're not, it is really, really destructive. And I find it very unhelpful and unhealthy to do that. And it's taken me a long time to trust myself enough to honour my needs and to share those emotions when I need to. Because the sad reality is that when I didn't, that was the beginning of the downward spiral for me. That's when I would find myself in a hole and in a very dark place, because I had all of these emotions inside and all of these thoughts, feelings and beliefs that just weren't true. And if I just had someone I felt I could trust to talk to about these things, who wouldn't meet me with judgment or try to fix it, but would just hold space for me to figure it out for myself. It's a really hard thing to do, to hold space for somebody who needs it. We tend to go into this fixing mode, like we have to be a problem solver for them. And we don't. I'm telling you now, that isn't our job. The best thing we can do for somebody is to listen to them and to hold space for them to get everything off their chest or all the emotion out that they need to process, without meeting them with judgment, talking over them, telling them what to do. These are so unhelpful, I can't begin to tell you. And it's recognizing in a person's moment of need, it's not about you. It is fully about them. And that, I know it can be a lot sometimes when someone is going through something quite heavy, say a trauma. Those can be very heavy and quite difficult things to hear. But it's crucial that if this person has come to you, they feel safe in your company and safe enough to process and to let it all out around you. And that doesn't mean that you have to take on their pain as your own. That is what empaths do. And sadly, empathetic people, they can tend to, without meaning to, make it about them. And it isn't. I'm telling you now, it isn't. And it's not easy, I know it isn't, but the more that we talk about this and the more we raise awareness, just to let people be emotional, let people vent if they need to vent. Again, it's about putting your barriers up, and obviously if you're not feeling like you're able to help someone by listening to them, you're not in the right headspace, you're going through your own stuff, you can implement your boundaries, but you can do it in a very thoughtful way that is protecting yourself but also the other person. I feel we only have this life, and we might as well make it the best we can and help each other out, especially when there's so much going on in the world and when people have been through so many things, very deep and painful things. It's crucial that we support those people as and when we can, and that we feel supported whenever we need that. It's a very difficult thing to learn, to trust ourselves and to communicate effectively, and those are two of my passions, really. In communication is just the key to everything, especially communication with ourselves. And really being honest with ourselves about where we're at or what we're going through or what it is that we really want from life. Those are just simple questions to get started with, and I really encourage you to explore those and to get to know yourself a bit better, because then if you know yourself a bit better, you can help others to know who you are as well and understand perhaps what you need even when you can't see it. So I'll leave it there today, but again, just take this as an invitation to maybe have a check-in with yourself. This full moon has been extremely intense. It's brought a lot of grief up for me for the loss of my best friend last year, and the funny thing about grief is it does come in waves, and you can never predict what's going to trigger you and when it's going to come and when it's going to be more intense and when it's going to be manageable. But again, it starts with having honest conversations with yourself and trusted people around you and loved ones. And yeah, just remember, if somebody comes to you and you can tell that they need to talk or they need to process something, please just hold space for them. Don't chime in with your opinion, your judgment, your advice, unless it has been asked for and you're doing it in an assertive way, not in a judgmental, telling somebody what to do way, because trust me, that is not helpful. That is never helpful. And sadly, it's making it about you and your voice when that isn't going to help somebody who actually just needs to be heard. Because so often we just need to be heard. We need to feel like someone's listening and somebody has heard us. And that goes a long way on our healing journey. So with that being said, I will wish you hopefully a nice end to the week. And if it has been intense for you, just take it easy. Be really kind to yourself. Do something nice for yourself. You deserve it. And just know that this space is always here. If ever anyone needs any help or advice, I am always available to discuss anything that may be of interest and helpful for you moving forward. Have a gorgeous end to the week, and I will check in again soon.